We live in such extraordinary times of accelerating change, of interdependence, of racing technology, of estrangement from ourselves and each other, and the study of fields that tell us who we are and where we've been and what we've cared about and why in all our diversity. Those questions have a greater importance because all the technology in the world can't give you meaning.
The humanities are the study of what matters to us, how we express ourselves, and how things change over time. In the humanities, we put out the ideas that become part of the common discourse of a society.
It's really exciting because it's so relevant for some of the biggest questions we have today, such as how is climate change going to affect vulnerable communities all over the world?
Political upsets or issues around identity, things like this are ultimately human problems with human histories and will take human imagination to figure out how to deal with.
In the ways that philosophers think about otherness, in the ways that historians relate to vanished cultures and try to reconstruct them, being able to live in somebody else's experience for a time. It's a crucial connection between past and present, between scholarship and everyday life.
It's the idea of how can we think historically to understand present and future challenges. And I think that it really doesn't get more relevant than that.
We all have a very distinct point of view, but the humanities allow us to step outside of that for a moment. They teach us how to do this and how to consider other perspectives and other ways of living and being.
That curiosity drives you to ask questions about other people, which opens up all these windows onto everyday topics like politics, like why does my neighbor vote the way they do? They go from being a caricature to being a person that we're curious about and have new tools for interacting with and understanding better.
If places like the Humanities Center don't exist, we're going to lose the ability to really talk about these issues.
In order to stay ahead of the curve in everything we do, we need continued support. We can do more at Stanford to represent the humanities on a campus where the conversation about research can often be dominated by the sciences and the tech fields. We need to represent the importance of humanities scholarship in that environment.
Especially in Silicon Valley, my job as a historian, as a philosopher, as a social critic, is to point out the dangers.
We're doing things at the frontier between computer science and the humanities, tons of digital humanities work. We're making connections with people in medicine, in the hard sciences, and coupled with the spirit of inquiry that characterizes the humanities itself, makes it an incredibly open and exciting time.
We hope that today we surface some new productive collaborations between humanists, arts, and technologists in ways that really harness the power of AI to enhance the better parts of humanity.
To have a dedicated space, bringing leading thinkers from all sorts of different subjects, providing a forum to have workshops, conferences, all sorts of events, and the sense of community are also really invaluable in making it a special place to be a fellow.
These sorts of programs could end up, raising ideas that affect the nation and even the world.
What the Humanities Center is dealing with are the deepest questions. We're nowhere without that.
When people look back on a life well lived, the things that they remember are most often, I think, things that can be traced back to fundamental matters of human connection. And as we grow apart, what's going to put us back together again? It's going to be reflection, it's going to be knowledge, it's going to be context, and all of those kinds of things an institution like the Stanford Humanities Center brings.